Hi guys, Alan Moore here on another fragrance review. Thanks for tuning back in. I hope you're all okay. Uh, on today's video, guys, we're going to be talking about four main fragrances with one fragrance which my scent of the day I'll show you in a minute. Right, these four fragrances will serve you well in the autumn and winter months. Right, they're quite strong, there's a lot of notes in there, and I think they'll suit you well come this autumn and winter. So if you're interested, see me after the intro, guys. I'll see you in a minute. Cheers, guys. Okay, guys, thanks for coming back and tuning back into my channel. And so on today's video, guys, I've got these four fragrances that come from different decades, right? But they're really good in these autumn and winter months. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you these. I've got the notes written down in front of me here to give you for these fragrances. And there's a good chance if you put these in your collection, there's one that's my most expensive fragrance. The rest are more quite affordable. And then if you look online now, you get these at a good price. And it'll serve you well in the winter months. Okay, so let's start with the first one. And it's this one here. The Zardo Pour On Intense. I've only got a tiny bit left there, look guys. It's that one. That's precious stuff that is, because I ain't got no more left. When this runs out, I need to buy another one. So this one is one of my favourite barbershop smells. Oh, it's fantastic smell. I'm not going to spray it because I've only got a bit left, guys, but I can tell you from the atomizer what it smells like. It's a fantastic barbershop kind of smelling fragrance if you're into that kind of thing. And because the notes in it will work well in the winter coming months. Let me just give you a quick idea what's in these notes. In the top, cinnamon, which is always around in winter kind of fragrances or fall fragrances, autumn, whatever you call it, whether you're abroad or over here. In them kind of months, this is going to, serve you well. And it's got brandy and vetiver in the mid, and it's got amber and tonka beans for a little bit of sweetness, and the amber just adds to the depth of the fragrance. It's a fantastic fragrance, guys. If you ever tried the original, I haven't tried the original, but there was no need for me to go out and buy it when I got this. This is so good. I wouldn't need to have the original one because it will save me enough just with this fragrance. I don't need to buy the original, but I can have that. The smell I get off this, it just puts a smile on my face, basically, guys. And I always tend to wear this when I go and have a nice haircut. It's that good. Okay, so that's my first fragrance I've got to show you. Right. It was released in 2015, that was, guys. And it's classed as an aromatic fougere. So that's the first fragrance. Now moving on to one I've not really featured too much on this channel. I've done it on my Instagram account, but not on this one. And it's this one again from the 80s. And it's this one here. Now look at that for a bottle. Right. Plastic top. Now just look at the atomizer and you can tell that is an 80s fragrance. I swear some of the old style atomizers used to look like that. Right, now this is Elizabeth Taylor Passion for Men. Now it's got a nice deep purple colour looking bottle with a plastic foot. Look at that, you can hold that up by the lid easy. Clicks into place nice and easy. And it stays firm. Right, now this fragrance, I'll just spray it in the room just. And you can tell it's come from the 80s, but it's in a good way. It's not too offensive, it's not too off-putting to say it's all too old-manish or nothing like that. No, it doesn't do that. What it does do, it gives you a freshness, but with depth as well. And it's got a depth to this fragrance, but at the same time, when it first opens up, you got carnation in there, you got sandalwood, you got nutmeg, you got patchouli in there, cedar, balsam fir, and then you can smell jasmine. Now jasmine is quite prominent when you first spray it on a little bit, but you've got the geranium coming as well. If you notice, what I just told you from the top notes on this fragrance, a lot of floral notes was in these fragrances back then in the 80s. Right now, they didn't have ambroxan then, so to extend and give the fragrance more oomph. They have to use all the, ingredients in their recipes to bring out their formulations for, because they've got things like, they have things like sage and stuff like that in there, so it's aromatics. So you think somebody has filled around in some lab somewhere with all these aromatics, like what they do in a recipe or something like that, and they put it all together, and then they put it into the machine with all the other notes and blend it all up to give us a fragrance, with added notes. So the things like this in the, you got your bergamot, neroli, that's another flower, and then you got fruity notes, orange, and then you got things like this, styrax, benzoin, and then you got outmoss, musk, vetiver, amber, tonka beans for a little bit of sweetness. You can't, you can get like a nice sweetness from this. It's not like a vanilla kind of thing. It has got vanilla in there, but it's not like a dominating vanilla fragrance. It's more of a powdery kind of sweetness. This is, along with the floral notes that are coming through. And it's a nice fragrance to pick up. It's cheap as chips now. You'll get this online for next to nothing. The Azara, I would say you get it for less than 50 quid in the UK. And it's a cracking fragrance. And this one as well is where they pick up earlier in the year. And I didn't pay that much for it. I only paid about £15. I got the other bottle they sent me over there in my cabinet, and it was damaged on delivery, guys. And I was all set to reveal it on an unboxing on my channel. And I thought, I've got to check that package. This don't look right, because it comes with the outer package. It looked a bit wet. I thought that don't look good. So I opened it all up, and as it was, this part of the lid had all cracked. The atomizer inside had come loose, right, and it had got all wet in transit. So I had to phone the people on eBay. Well, sorry, send them an email, and they actually sent me another bottle out for free of charge, which was very nice of them. But since I've had this fragrance, I've worn it to work a few times, and like I say, we've got these months you've got coming now, August and June, and October, September, and all these kind of months. This is where we all start thinking about putting something a bit more warmer, darker, with the vanilla notes and everything. And so these 80s fragrance cut through the air, fantastic for this kind of time of year. So don't get me being put off because they come from the 80s, guys. You're missing out some fantastic fragrances for you do. Right then, let's move on with the next one. Now this one is the most expensive one I bought today, guys, like I said earlier. And it's this one here. Mancera Instant Crush. I wanted to throw a modern fragrance in there to show you, although the 80s was dominant by powerhouse kind of fragrances, today they still come up with fragrances like this from the house of Mancera, which are all almost known for having most of their fragrance and like beast mode anyway. Now this got a fantastic sprayer on it. It's like you can spray it, it just keeps coming out, and it's got a big mist to it. And I love this fragrance. I've only had it a few times to wear when I've gone out, and it's only been somewhere local. So I'm dying to have a nice occasion where I can put it on and it'll last the night then, and people will probably be asking what I'm wearing. It is a unisex fragrance, but to me, it's right down the middle where it leads. If you read the notes off, I'll give you in a minute, it doesn't lean one way or another, it's right down the middle. There's masculine notes and feminine notes in there to make it appealing to both sexes. But this one, look at that, a magnetic top on this one, guys. I had the Sidrat Browse, and that's got the old screw on top. But this is why a lot of the bottles are coming now, with the magnetic cap. So this one again, a very like beef mouldy kind of fragrance, 10 hours in your skin, and it's still pushing. You can still smell it at this kind of range. When you're into his 8th, 9th hour, you can still smell it, and it's still projecting quite well. And so I can understand why they were charging so much for it. And it's their take on Baccarat Rouge 540, and that's a expensive fragrance, a lot more than I paid for this. But if this is something what it smells like Baccarat Rouge 540, I'm happy with that. I don't want to go and pay all that kind of money for something smells something sim just for the sake of the name. Excuse me, guys. Computer just gone. Excuse me. That's it. Alan Moore. So one mic, one take. Yes, it just finished. Computers. Come on. Okay, ruined it. Okay, guys, thanks. Back on with this video. So, let me give you the notes for this Mancera. In the top, you've got saffron, rose, jasmine, and patchouli. And in the mid, you've got ginger, mandarin, bergamot. In the base, you've got vanilla, white musk, sandalwood, and oat moss. And that gives you such a lovely fragrance, guys. If you never tried it, it is well worth picking up. If you do like me, a bit of a fragger, you do collect fragrances, then it's worth saving your money and, go and buying it like. So far you had 3 fragrances. I'm going to show you the last one that's officially on the list, and I'll show you the scent of my day in a bit. So let's go with this one. Now this one, this is really then good. I mean, I know it looks old because the style of the bottle, the way the bottle is now. If I was Aramis, I'd really think about restyling the bottles now and, rebranding the way it looks, how it appeals to a younger crowd. Because although this is like, it's like a timeless classic, when you first put this on, there's no doubt it's got like it's got like a real, like an harshness to it when you first put it on. But at the same time, you can smell all the notes fighting over it, trying to get centre stage with this fragrance. It's like they're pushing each other out, trying to get to the front. All these different notes, and they're all doing it at the same time. So it's hard to pick out dominant notes, which it's just one smell coming towards you, and a powerful smell it is at that. But give it 10 minutes and this settles down to such a nice fragrance. It is like a leather dominant fragrance, but it's done in such a nice way. It makes you feel like you got something special on, something you need to go and maybe have a meal out. You dress up a little bit, put a shirt and tie on and a nice jacket and a pair of trousers or something, you know the drill. So you probably wear something like that for that occasion. And you can buy soaps, you can buy deodorants, different stuff for the same line. Imagine all that overall smell from all the different products you got, and you got that. You'd smell it the other side of the room. It is like a bit of a room filler, to be fair. And it's one of these, especially in the autumn and winter months. I can't stress enough. This fragrance is that good. It just cuts through the cold like nobody's business. It is that got that staying power. The longevity is good on it. It projects. You still smell it off your skin. Keep getting wafted of it coming back. And this is in the coldest of the weather. Or, if you look out my window now in the bedroom, I'm filming my bedroom. We've got cloudy and blue skies, but there's a slight chill in the air, and it starts coming to the spot. 25 past 3 in the afternoon, and it's starting to come down now. The temperature is, and there's people walking around in t-shirts and shorts at the moment. Give them another couple of hours, they were walking around with the jacket on. So you can see how it's starting to change the temperature is. Especially when you start putting the heating on more every night time, wrapping up with more clothes when you sit in the house. So this fragrance has the strength to cut through all that. And you wouldn't need many more fragrances in the winter than this. But the only thing I would think putting off a lot of people at this particular time is the style of the bottle. Because this was okay for people my age, and maybe a bit younger. I would say if you're 35 and above, you would still remember this or you still see this, and it wouldn't put you off buying it. But if they're trying to appeal to a wider market, say for 30 and above instead of 35, then I think, maybe to reshape the bottle in some way, change that cap, get a nice smaller atomizer on, making it look a bit more modern. So I think if you had a chance for that done, I think more people would be in favour of buying it, So let's show you the scent of the day. What I'm gonna, and it's this one here. And we just showed you Aramis. This is another one. This is Santos De Gardea. You know what I mean? It's such a lovely fragrance. I mean, you can tell by the actual what's the name, shape of the bottle. But it's like, let me just give you the notes to this Aramis, guys. I'm sorry about that, I forgot. Um, in the top, you got aldehydes, myrrh, artemisia, cloves, uh, thyme, bergamot, and gardenia. See about the flowers again, and the floral note in there. You got patchouli, sage, jasmine, cardamom, orris root, and in the base you got leather, oak moss, vetiver, musk, sandalwood, amber, and coconut. Now you can't pick. I can't pick the coconut up. There's that many notes, but what I say when you put that one on, it's like a blast of everything you see at the same time. It's hard to figure out which is which. But once you start settling down, you get like this overall nice smell that gives you like something classical. If you was at like I say, a night out, and this one I'm about to show you is the same thing, but it's just come from a different company. It's still got the same power, same dominant power. You're wearing this. I've had this on a few hours now because I've been shopping and different stuff, and I'll put it on there. I could still get in washed with it. I was walking around the supermarket, and it's still there now. I can smell it there now, and if you was moving it on, but you can't smell the fragrance a bit. It's not as powerful as what it was when I first put it on, but it's there, and it's been about 5 hours now since I put it on. And this one here, now my complaint about this is the lid. I bought this offline. It is an original lid look, but it doesn't fit snugly at all. You can never pick this up by the cap. Now whether it's just my bottle or not, I don't know. But mine doesn't fit down, it just rests on top. And so you can pick that, you can see what's going on with it. So, and let me just show you the sprayer on this. Look at that. And this is, it's that how stuck it is. Flip your neck. This has got balls, it says. Do you know what I mean? This is masculinity in a bottle, definitely. And if you like masculine fragrances, you want to stay. So if you're into things like beast mode stuff that you want to pay the money for that'll last, these what I've showed you, it'll do that. But this one and the Aramis one and the Mancera one, they're the ones who, really big hitters out there. What I showed you so far. And this Santos De Gardea, I was watching another review earlier, this guy from America, and he was reviewing this particular fragrance, but like a different model to this, but the same brand name and everything. He got a red bottle, the same as mine, well, red box, should I say. And it looked it's not the same one, but it was like built-in atomizer. But he was saying that it came from this prestigious jewel watchmakers in France, and they got like pretty prestigious, and they've got like they do a range of watches and boxes and different stuff like this, and it's all the top end stuff. Nothing's cheap in there. If you've got the money to buy someone a watch or different jewelry from there, what they do, it's the top of the bank, and this fragrance was released, and to my knowledge so far, I've been doing this for a while now, collecting fragrances, and I've got some over there where some you've seen before, or there's still some you might not have seen. And there's lots of different fragrances, got power and different, but there's nothing I've got that's like this fragrance. This is so unique and so, different to anything I've got. And the nice thing about this house company, they've not copied other people's success to release a fragrance. They've done it off their own back. We've got this formula to what we've got today and what they give us. And it's out there now in this current form, or whether it's one of the older ones, or what they've got, one which look like a concentrated one, more powerful, And these kind of houses are rare because you can class this along with the likes of Dior, House Sauvage, and Armani, Pour They're all different because they come in with like a classical vibe of things like a lot of citruses in their fragrances, but they were still classed as classics. And although the bottles, you can't see through it like a classic bottle looks like, the smell in this is so timeless, and it'll still be original in 10 years' time. These fragrance will never be copied again like this, unless this company release another Franca to this one, it smells something like it. Because they've got the formula, they've got the way they've put this fragrance together. They know how to tweak it here and there. But no other house company has copied these, and these have probably set a standard really by not copying all these were good, like the Invictuses and different stuff like that, and all these Dior Sauvage, and they've had all the flankers for their blue dish. They've had all different flankers, and lots of people have tried to copy these different companies now, especially in the Middle East. And so when they've tried to copy these fragrances, you know, like, I don't mind it sometimes because it gives people like myself who not always got the money to buy the originals a chance to get something to smell like it. That's great. But sometimes you're looking for somebody with the original who's come out with something nobody's copied yet. And this company does it easy. And I would say, if you've never smelt it and you can get your nose on it, or get a sample of it, smell it, you might be put off at first, because when I first I thought, oh, that's strong. I didn't expect that. But give it a few times, give it a chance, and it shows you this like darkness, but it's done in such a classical way, and it stands out alone from everything else you've probably got, and you'll be unique when you wear this out. In fact, I'm going to refresh myself as I'm speaking, guys. Spare time, here's another spray. Oh, it is actually, it's going to wear that well. If I had to go outside now and it starts to drop now the temperature, I could walk down the road going to a shop or anything, and the CRs and the projection of these, most people just know what you've got on. They might not ask you because they might not want to approach you, not all people are like that. But you would know how strong it's coming off my skin now. Somebody's going to smell that. There's no way in it on this god they're not going to smell it. So this is what I love about these kind of fragrances. You pay your money and you get your money's worth. And to me, that's worth it. So, guys, if you like any of these fragrances, go and try and, get your nose on them. Or if you want a blind buy them. Be brave and just get out there and have a good go at it. Some of them, affordable anyway. And if you didn't like them, you always sell them on. Do you know what I mean? But I've got a feeling if you tried some of these, you'd think, I can see where all the force is coming from now. Take all your modern fragrances, have a look at them, smell them. And honestly, some of these will just blow them out the water for strength and power come the cold days and the cold nights you got coming in. The others won't be able to stand the cold as much as these do. So, I'll see you on the next video. This is Alan Moore. One mic, one take. Please tune back in again. Please share, like and subscribe to this channel, and give me a thumbs up. Hit the notification button so it'll be notified of any more future videos I'm releasing. I'm trying to bring some of these ideas from Instagram over, guys. We notice that I'm doing quite well. And this what I've just done today, I'm going to put that on my Instagram today, because this is done it in reverse. So I'm taking what I've got on YouTube now, I'm going to put it onto my Instagram account to give the guys on Instagram account something to look forward to. Okay, guys, I'll see you on the next video. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'll see you next week. Okay, cheers, guys. Bye now.